Hello everyone, welcome back to another VOD. I'm Saphy, and I'll be your host. So we're right into it with picks and bans. We're facing this guy named Def. Looks like he bans my Size Munch right off the bat. And right now, I'm thinking about either banning the Veilish or the Volphy, because the Veilish is strong against three of my Tems actually. But I decided to ban the Volphy because I felt like a Plague, Trap, that's just so much value. And then looks like he picks the Veilish right away. Looking back, maybe I should have banned the Veilish instead, and I feel like I could have dealt with the Volphy a little bit better. Right now I'm trying to think about who I can use, because Veilishes are pretty, I want to say one-dimensional, because you can do a lot with it and outplay people. But most people try to at least set up, especially if it's chosen first. And I'm thinking here, gotta get a fighting or a melee typing just to scare away, hopefully, the Veilish. And then I'm predicting he's gonna choose the Kinu here, because he definitely wants to get that through to start buffing up the Veilish. So I think the Koish is a good deterrent for the Kinu, and like I said, the Kinu comes out. And then here it's my second ban. I'm looking. Momo is really strong, but we also have Barnshi and other special defense tanks like our Valorant here. Not really too worried about the Koish, and I think the Grumper was the correct choice here, just because we have 3 Tems still remaining that are weak against him. Looks like he bans my Valorant. And he goes for the Mushuk. I think I decided to go with my Barnshi here, to kind of try to scare away Mushuk whenever he comes in. Looking back, maybe the Kinu was probably a better choice here, just thinking about it. And here I had a really hard time deciding between the Kala or the Kinu. I decided to go for the Calibus. And here we go, straight into the battle. And here I'm really thinking that the Veilish is gonna try to set up on me. I think he's gonna take out the Kinu, so I decided to go pretty much all in on the Veilish here. On hindsight, I maybe should have done Uppercut. Uppercut might have been able to take it out. But I go for the Warrior Cannon here. Let's see what it does here, and I believe he does take the Kinu out. And then he Madness buffs the Veilish, so it's a slight negative tempo play here. Yep, there goes Kevin the Kinu. And out comes the Mushuk. Veilish gets his Madness buff off, and I double into the Veilish. Yeah, I think Uppercut might have been slightly better here. And here I make it was a hard decision because I thought that the Veilish would try to run. It was either the Veilish is gonna run, or he was gonna try to kill my Koish, right? So I had a little bit of a hard time because I thought maybe Cage would be good here. Of course, hindsight's 2020, and Valish is 3 Prio Crystal Spikes. Crystal Spikes beats my Rainbow Guard, which I end up choosing here. If I had swapped out into my Guileless or my Calibus, I think this would have been a lot better. Because Koish just kind of ends up just going down. Yeah. So I choose Rainbow Guard here, and immediately my Koish just gets bopped. One shot there. Really bad read on my part, honestly. But I end up getting the trade kill on Valish. Yeah, Valish. And so we're kind of even now. Unfortunately, my Koish is really good against Kevin and Keith, the Koish and Kinu. So it's a little bit unfortunate that it died early on. That was probably my biggest misplay in this whole match. Because if I had just taken the Valish down and swapped out the Koish for the Guileless, I would have been, or the Calibus, I would have been such up tempo. But here comes the Kinu, buffing up the Mashuk. It's a little bit of a problem, but I'm able to bring in my Barnshi. Here, I think I cage in the Mashuk. Try to make sure that I kill him. Cage gets off. And indeed, he tries to pull out his Mashuk. Get the Wind Burst out. Gets him down pretty low. Not quite half, and that's just the Protector buff, obviously. And here you'll see, I thought my Tornado would kill the Mashuk, and so I didn't aim anything into it, which ended up being pretty bad because Perfect Jab, all it does is bring down the defense a little bit. You'll see, this Mashuk lives with a sliver of health here. Sliver, literally a sliver. I should have just tried to confirm a kill, because the Perfect Jab would have hit Kino no matter what, even if Mashuk had died. That's another mistake on my part. So the Mashuk, their Mashuk is able to get a humiliating strike there. Luckily, our Mashuk is pretty fat. Here, I really think that he's gonna try to swap out the Mashuk again. I should have just. The Mashuk was gonna die no matter what to anything. I should have just let it die. This Mashuk, letting this Mashuk live, ended up being another huge mistake. I end up overexerting my Mashuk and it dies. Really bad misplay for me. This is a learning experience. I'm still around 1150 TMR. So I'm getting there. Still pretty new to the game. Under 25 games so far in competitive. So letting that Mashuk live allowed so much more tempo for them. He brings out his Koish, and I bring out my Kala. And I just want to get rid of this Kino because his protective buffs are really annoying. I think I double into it. here I'm trying to conserve. Oh, I'm trying to conserve a little bit of my stamina, and he goes for a hypnosis on my Kala, but luckily my Kala has energy drain, and I believe this kills him. The overexertion does just enough, and then I was trying to conserve a little bit of my stamina. Here's Momo. So he's down to his final two. So I just need to finish off his Momo and his Koish here. And I believe the Momo is faster than me here, so I wasn't even trying to go for an EM. So I'll go for a Tornado. It's the 3 prio. Looking back, if maybe I had gotten off an EM instead, that would have been a lot better, because Banshee would have taken at least 1 hit. So during this match, I ended up sacrificing 2 TemTems to overexertion, which is incredibly bad. And I definitely would have outspent the Momo because he only had double edge, which is a 1 prio. Very unfortunate for me. There's a lot of small things that I'm missing here and there that I need to get better at recognizing, such as the Momo's only ability, the only non-hold ability is the double edge. So here was pretty risky because I know that he has his Undermine now, but I'm really confident that Giles can tank. Fortunately there, I pretty much almost threw the game here. Fortunately, Calibus is mega tanky, and I end up killing the Momo here. And a Calibus overexerts, so I have a free Toxic Ink here. This game would have been a lot smoother if I had a misplayed. 2 big misplays that I saw. But a win's a win, and always a learning experience. So I thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Saphy, and I hope you enjoy my content. I'll see you later.